let's jump right in. When I say the word mentor, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Probably some wise senior executive, right? Someone who helps you climb the corporate ladder. Well, today, we're going to tear that idea down and rebuild it. We're going to explore how mentoring is being reimagined, not just as a way to get ahead, but as a powerful tool to find real purpose, value, and a sense of belonging in our work. You know, it all starts with a feeling. A feeling I bet a lot of us have had, that nagging sense of disconnection at work. Like something's just missing. But what is that really? Where does that feeling actually come from? I mean, it's a huge question, isn't it? Why are so many people unhappy at work? It's not always about the paycheck or the fancy job title. The research points to something way deeper, something fundamentally human. And this, right here, this is the heart of it. It boils down to three big questions we're all asking, whether we realize it or not. Researchers at Harvard Business School found that all that dissatisfaction, it usually stems from our jobs failing to answer these. We're wired to look for purpose, to feel valued, and to know that we belong. And when those things are missing, boy, do we feel it. And just look at the data. This isn't just a feeling. During the so-called Great Resignation, studies showed that things like feeling valued and having a sense of belonging shot to the top of the list for what employees want. They became even more important than things like pay. It's a massive signal that the old ways of doing things just aren't cutting it anymore. So, what do we do about it? Well, one of the best tools we have might be one we think we already know all about, mentoring. But, and this is a big but, to really unlock its power, we have to completely rethink what mentoring actually is. See, our whole idea of mentoring is kind of stuck in the past. It literally started with an ancient Greek myth, turned into the rigid master-apprentice model, and then in the 70s, it became this corporate tool for getting ahead. The common thread through all of these, it's always hierarchical. It's one person at the top telling another person what to do. And that model just isn't built for the world we live in today. Which brings us to this crucial difference. We're seeing a shift away from that old sponsorship model, which is all about giving advice to get a promotion, to something new, the transformational model. And this is a whole different ballgame. It's about a partnership, it's about two-way learning, it's about inspiring wisdom, not just handing out answers. It's about developing the whole person, not just the employee. But here's a more official definition from EMCC Global, just to make it crystal clear. Notice the words they use here: learning-based relationship and development-oriented dialogues. This is not a lecture. It's a conversation, a journey of growth that benefits both people involved. Okay, so that's the what. We need to get into the how. What actually makes this new kind of mentoring work? Well, it's all built on 6 core principles that totally change the dynamic of the relationship. These are the fundamentals. It starts with reflective practice, looking inward. Then the mentee has to take active responsibility. They're in the driver's seat of their own growth. The whole thing is built on non-judgmental communication, creating a really safe space, to be honest. It's about dealing with the here and now, not getting lost in theory. And here's where it gets interesting. The mentor focuses their curiosity on the mentee's relationship to the topic, not just the topic itself. And finally, and this one's huge, it's about sharing context instead of advice. So instead of saying, do this, you say, here's a time I faced something similar, and here's what was going through my head. But within all of those, there is one rule, one that is so counterintuitive, so radical, it flips everything we think we know about mentoring completely upside down. It's the absolute key to making this whole thing work. And here it is. In transformational mentoring, you do not give advice. You inspire. I know, it sounds nuts, right? Isn't giving advice the entire point of having a mentor? Well, no, not anymore. The reason behind this rule is actually pretty profound. The goal isn't just to fix one specific problem right now. The real goal is to develop the person's own ability to solve their own problems in the future. Think about a chick trying to hatch from an egg. If you help it by breaking the shell from the outside, the chick will be too weak to survive. It needs to struggle and break out from the inside to build its own strength. Giving advice is like breaking the shell for someone. So, if you're not giving advice, what are you supposed to do? This quote from Brené Brown just nails it. A mentor's job isn't to run in with a flashlight and show them the way out. It's about having the courage to sit with them in the dark in their uncertainty and just let them know they're not alone. That's real empathy. And that's the foundation of this whole approach. So why do all this? Why adopt this approach that's honestly a lot harder than just giving some quick advice? Because the payoff is enormous. And it's not just for one person, it's for everyone. For the mentee, the benefits are pretty clear. They actually get answers to those big questions about purpose and belonging. They get the clarity and the confidence to build a career that really means something to them. They don't just get a map, they learn how to become their own navigator. But here's the part that gets missed all the time. This is a two-way street. Mentors consistently say they learn just as much, if not more, than their mentees. It makes them more self-aware, it improves their own leadership skills, and it brings this incredible sense of satisfaction to their job. And when you zoom out to the whole organization, it's a total game changer. This approach boosts retention, it supports diversity, it builds a genuine culture of trust where people feel safe to grow. It creates an entire environment where those big questions of purpose, value, and belonging finally get an answer. Ultimately, this is what it's all about, empowering people. As Dr. Kadilar says, everyone deserves a mentor. But just as importantly, we all need to understand what a powerful, developmental relationship actually looks like so we can make the most of it. Which brings us right to the final question, and this one is really for you. Whether you're in a position to find a mentor or you have the wisdom to become one for someone else, this approach is out there. It's a chance to do more than just guide a career. It's a chance to help someone build a more meaningful life at work. So, what are you waiting for?